Hello, hello, hello. This is Cortez Jenkins, and we're gonna start off another video because I was just thinking. I was thinking because I did a meeting the other day, and I was talking about unintentional goals and intentional goals, and it could sound like something that might go over your head. You might say you get it. You might say you understand. You probably really don't understand because it's pretty deep. And that's the reason why you have to really pay attention to unintentional goals and intentional goals. And why are they important is because you could be living in somebody's life from their unintentional goals, and that could be a goal that now you make as intentional. Right? Pretty let's give an analogy. And let's say that my friend likes to steal. As much as it seems intentional, it might be unintentional. He just might subconsciously just be taking things, right? Let's say you're in the car with him. Let's say you're driving somewhere and he takes something while you're with him. This can potentially ruin your life because if he gets in trouble, his unintentional goals has now been something that has affected your life. You could be a part of somebody who unintentionally just likes to give. So he just does a food drive or something. Unintentionally, he just starts one because everything matches. He has the feeling, he does it. And that could be a positive thing. But more times than not, anything that's unintentional is going to be more detrimental than things that are intentional. Because intentional things take work, it takes effort. Things that are unintentional are just on the fly things you just come up with about. It's not something that you're planning out. It just happens all of a sudden. And you can't really live your life just everything happens all of a sudden. Because good things happen all of a sudden, but how many times can we go back to a time where bad things happen unintentionally? They happen to way more times is going to be negative than it is going to be positive and an unintentional goal. So if you're not intentionally moving towards a goal, 9 times out of 10, you're unintentionally moving down the goalpost. Not many people become successful unintentionally. Look at the statistics. How many people, it's already hard to get successful, but how many people that are successful did it intentionally versus unintentionally? And that's just a simple statistic. You don't have to think that hard. You don't got to think. It's pretty, it's a monkey math. It's stupid math. You don't have to think. So the reason why it's important is because if you're living your life constantly moving unintentionally, you're going to be in someone else's intentional goal. So your unintentional goal now becomes their intention, that you're working for their intentional goal. And you don't even know what most of the people around you, what their gain out of life is. What is their goal out of life? Why don't you ever just sit around and ask your peers, what do they want out of life? What are most people going to say? I want to be rich. I want to be successful. I want to be this. Those are so broad. They're so broad that you can tell that they're not going to be successful. There's no specifics. You talk to a person who's trying to go through a nursing program, and they'll tell you the syllabus of how I'm going to get to here. There's a plan. When you go to college, it's the same as real life. You have to create a syllabus for your life. And if you don't create a syllabus for your life, you're moving unintentionally. When you go to college for a nursing program, there is intent. There is a required hours that you need to put in per semester. There's classes, prerequisites you have to take before you can get to the next class to get even more hours. It's a building process. The same thing should be for your life. I mean, why would you think life, you just wake up and then life just happens? It doesn't make sense. Because life is everything. Life is when your car breaks down. Life is when the wheels on your tire pop. Life is when you get a promotion. Life is when you graduate college. Life is when you get struck by a car. Life is everything, good, bad, whatever. It's yin and yang. You can't let life become life to you. You have to move with intent, because if you don't move with intent, you don't have the purpose to actually seek out what are you trying to do. And that's the whole point of unintentional and intentional goals. So what they relate to is everything you do in life, whether it be the fulfillment that you want out of life, whether it be the wife or the husband that you want or desire, whether it be having children or not having children, whether it be to be a family man, family woman or not. Everything relates to unintentional goals and intentional goals. It's just choices. Goals are just choices that you put work behind. When it's unintentional, you're not thinking, it's autonomous. In a few videos ago, I was explaining, and if you haven't seen those videos, I would recommend, because if you're not intentionally thinking of the choices that you're doing on a day-to-day basis, the less you are having control over those decisions, the less you have control of life, because life is built off decisions. And if you can't keep control of singular decisions, then you can't keep control of massive decisions, which means that everything and anything can come in and creep and destroy you because you have no intent. Do you think a military would go to a base, would go into war with no type of plan? We're just gonna wing it. Do you think that in the NBA finals and two NBA teams just wing it? Do you think that in the FIFA World Cup that people just wing it? Do you think that anything at a high level people think and they just wing it? Do you think Jeff Bezos walks into a room for a meeting, does not look at the quarterly earnings, not look at anything, and just goes in and wings it? That's not how successful people run. There's no successful person that moves like that. And if they do, they're only successful for a short amount of time. Long-term success is intentional. And if you don't believe that, then the video is not for you. I'm not here to sell you on a vision, to sell you on a dream. The first few videos that I made, I told people I'm not bringing you anywhere. I'm just taking you to the bridge. You still have to put in the work and figure out who you are. And if you don't want to do that, then you just shouldn't watch these videos at all. Because I can tell you're a lazy man or a lazy woman. And you rather just let life move at whatever pace it moves without any type of control, because you know that control comes with accountability, and with accountability comes action. A lot of you guys want to be a boss, want to be a leader, want to be all these things, but you guys can't keep yourself accountable. And when you can't keep yourself accountable, you start lacking of why you're ending in the same situation. So they relate to everything. How it can affect you. As I was telling you the example, someone else's intentional goal and your unintentional goal could land you in jail, could land you in death. You can die by being around people who have intentional goals and you have unintentional goals, because you are not aligning with their goals. It's unintentional. With that being said, right, you have to have intentional goals. And if you don't have intentional goals, your mission for the next, I would say, 30 days, because you can't come up with these things in 1 or 2 days. You just can't do it, especially if you've never done it before. You're just gonna waste your time. Give yourself 30 days to think of something. Use your brain. Exercise your brain. It's what your brain is here for. It's not here to be on idle. It's so you can use your brain. So use it to the highest of abilities. Why would you lower yourself when you know that you can do more. And that's why you're depressed. You're depressed because you know you should be doing more. You just don't know how. And I'm not here to tell you how. You still got to figure out who you want to be. This is what individualism is. Most people just don't like accountability. And that's what it comes down to. It comes down to the fact that you don't want to look yourself in the mirror and tell yourself some days you're fucking wrong. you know? And I know that's hard for people to realize, but I'd rather tell myself and understand that I'm wrong and move to get better than to perpetually do the same wrong things and then next year or the year after that or the year after that figure out why I'm in the same spot and I haven't grown. I haven't grown as an individual. I haven't grown as a human being. And I'm not getting wiser, that I'm just plateauing, because you don't stay the same. There's no way you can stay the same. You're gonna plateau or you're gonna grow. That's the only way. You cannot stay the same throughout years. You're either growing or you're dying. And that's just how it is. And how to be more self-aware is going to be the main thing in anything of individualism, but most importantly for unintentional intentional goals, is to be self-aware. And the only way to be self-aware is you need to understand surroundings. You need to heighten your IQ, not just your IQ but your social IQ. You need to understand how to be a critical thinker. If your friends are saying, hey, let's go to the bar, and you know that your friends go to the bar and you know your friend gets fucked up at the bar, you need to stop going to the bar with that friend. You need to start either drinking in the house where it's a controlled environment, or just stop hanging with them outside at all, because you know what's going to happen. You already tell it, yo, every single time he does this, and you accept it and you go through it. Next thing you know, he's going to get into a bar fight with a gang member or a group of people, and you're going to have to fight a group of people because your friend's not going to do it alone, and you put yourself in this predicament. Getting into a fight in 2024 is not the same as getting into a fight in 1980s. You can get stabbed, you can get murdered. There is all types of alternatives that go on the line. There is no I'm gonna just beat you up and just let you sit there. These people are trying to kill you. And that's just a small example. If you're not paying attention to the goals, you're not gonna grow as a person. And it's not gonna be well for you. And why individualism works and is needed, why it works and why it's needed, is because individualism, it changes who you are so that you can grow as a person. Okay, but really go through these videos, look through it again. This is something to look back at. But unintentional and intentional goals is going to be a very important thing in this video. As you see, I'm still getting the phone fixed. It's okay. Everything's okay. We make it work. When adversity strikes, we just keep going harder. I could be the person to just not make a video until the phone's fixed, or I could be a person to keep going and keep striving, because as long as I got something recording me and I got something to record this audio, we're winning. We're winning. Trust me, I'm winning regardless. Whether you want me to win, or you don't want me to win, or whether you do want me to win. Either way, I'm going to win. And that's just how it works. Because I'm going to put the effort in, the effortless hours in while you're sleeping, to then come on top. In a year or 2 years from now, people are going to be looking at these videos and understanding everything I said is legit. And that individualism is going to be a top tier thing that we're going to be using in the nearby future. So look out for it. Stay good. Look out for unintentional and intentional goals. Figure out who you are. Strive for greatness. Let's go. Peace.